Hi all, and welcome to another exciting tutorial from Model Railroad Techniques. Have you ever wanted to build a structure that is one of a kind, that fits a specific location, but you thought it was all too difficult because you don't know where to start and what products to use? Building your first scratch build can be daunting and challenging. In this video series, I will step you through this simple little scratch build. In episode 4, we'll be looking at doing all the form work for the upper levels, so let's not waste any more time and let's get building. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon to be notified of my upcoming videos, support us on Patreon, Instagram and Facebook. So the next process is to make the raft floor. So what is actually happening there? So that building sort of sits on the top there, but you can sort of see that it offsets probably by half the thickness of that building. So what I need to do is mock up the floor. So from there I need to make up some vertical pylons or supports there. So they're made out of 1/4 inch scale, also northeastern lumber. So you'll see so they're the rafters there that I'm going to make out of, also northeastern scale lumber. So that's the 4x8 scale lumber there, and that's effectively the floor that I'm going to have it onto, which is just a piece of styrene that I've just stippled some paint onto. So we're going to start by colouring these rafters up. So I'm going to go in with burnt umber at this point in time. So as like most of my techniques that I'm experimenting with right now, it's a very simple one regarding spun stipple. So all I'm going to do here is go through, stipple it up. I'm not going to cover up the whole lot though, because I want some of that stain to be coming through. I'm not going to go overboard with the detail on these because it's really not going to see most of it, because you're not going to tip the model upside down, but I just want to get some colour on it, just in case I change the location where this building might go on the layout, and you'll be able to see sort of up in underneath it a little bit. It just always pays to try to work out where it's going, and then the level of detail dictates that thereafter. There's obviously a lot of modelers out there, no matter where it sits on the layout, they will have it super detailed. That's fine, that's up to them. I sort of try to work on the 3 foot rule. If it looks good at the 3 foot mark, you've nailed the technique, so to speak, but personal preference. So the next thing, I'm going to go back in with the same grey colour, the slate grey. So this is my go-to colour when I'm doing this type of painting. So what I'm going to do is start to dry a little bit. Just a simple dry brushing technique. You can sort of see the texture we've got up there, but old wood traditionally has a sort of a grey frosting or tinge to it, I've found. So I'm just going to go through this light, and same as before, if you put on too much, like splodged on there, just rub it in with your finger. Probably not such a bad idea, because there's a few gaps in this one that I probably really need to go back over. So if there's any bigger bits, just do that, and then it just come back in. As I said, if I was going to do this again, I'd probably go in with another colour to stipple in and over the top, but as I said, you're not really going to see this part of the structure too much, but it does show it's, come up alright. Obviously then you've gone back through that grey dry brushing, and yeah, looks acceptable at this point in time, I think. So now it's just a matter of putting this little structure together. I didn't want to go on too much about how I put the deck together. So you can see there's sort of 9 rafters underneath, so they're just obviously just cut to length. I measured up the middle of the platform or the flooring for the upper level, and then I just evenly spaced them out, and then cut them to size and glued them in, and then put the barges around the front. So that's pretty well it in a nutshell regarding how I did that. So I didn't really take a lot of or any footage of that, so I thought I'd better quickly explain how I came about doing that upper level. So the next step of this process is making up the supports that go from this upper deck. So what I looked at doing is something along those lines. So we've got 8x8 scale timber. I sort of went a little bit overboard with that, just purely because from the engineering point of view, in the real world, that would be something substantial because it's quite a heavy building that's going to be sitting over the top. So I ended up making 3 of them. So I've got the centerpiece and the 2 edges. So it's just a matter of mitering a cut through the center there at about 45 degrees and gluing them in just with PVA glue. Now, okay, so the first color I've gone through with is, which is they're calling the warm base color, which is a real sort of chocolatey brown color, light chocolate maybe. Now, so I've gone over this whole centerpiece here. So what I've also done is, before, when preparing these struts up, I just got the saw and just added some more texture to the wood. So this set's got six paints in it. So with the first one, then it's just a matter of going through just a little bit of time, just in varying parts. It's almost like a dry brushing technique with a little bit of the leopard spotting technique. So it's just a matter of adding the various colors. You sort of get it on too much, unlike I did there, you just wipe some of it off. And it's just a matter of going over the whole piece of wood. Try not to get too many defined lines like we've done there. So we'll just grade that in. Probably what you also do is probably not so much use the tip of the brush, but sort of maybe the edge of the brush and sort of just dab it on. You probably could try it with a small sponge as well, but it's a little bit cumbersome, probably with a piece of wood this size. So I can foresee you'd sort of go in with the varying colours and sort of work your way along. I've sort of got them all lined up here, and then sort of just as the effect comes up. Now, the types of areas would be sort of around these joins and sort of in here. I'd foresee that it'd be quite a dark type colour, just purely because it's, you know, with the weather beaten and the like. The degradation of the wood is probably more so there. And probably around the base as well, we'll go a little bit darker. Alright, so I'll give that a quick dry. Now, we'll go in with this dark wood, which is pretty close to a sort of a raw umber. Now this is basically a wash, not a thin wash, but it's a sort of a medium viscosity type wash that you sort of go in over the top, and that sort of will tie in all those colours. So the last step of this process is, you can do it or not, is sort of I'm going to do just a light dry brush with this white on the end. So what that's going to do, it's just going to bring out the highlights, the highs and lows of this wood. Now, so each bit obviously you do is going to look totally different, so it's probably a bit hard to tell on the camera the gradation of those colours, but that's sort of it there. done that back edge as well. So yeah, it comes up quite nicely, I believe. I'll obviously develop this a little bit more. By no means you need to use specific paints like this. It was just I was given to them by a close friend of mine. So yeah, I'll go through and finish the rest of them off, and I'll show what we get at the end. So that's sort of the outcome we got there. So different gradations of the wood coming through, different age of the wood. Some of these posts might have been repaired, fixed up. So sort of wanted it to look as grungy and gungy as we could. So the colours come through quite nicely. It doesn't probably show it quite as well on the video there, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So it's just a matter of playing around with this technique. It's got a lot of merit, I think. Takes a little bit of time. I've only done this one particular one a few times, but I assume, like anything with practice, you'll become more proficient at it. So you can see I've now added the vertical supports to the top floor of that building. I've also added the building. It's just a matter of gluing it onto that deck with some PVA glue. You can also see I've since put the very beginnings of the corrugated iron roofing on it. So I'll do a link to a video above that I did before about rusting up corrugated iron. So if you want to make any comments below about how the build's going so far, in the final part I'll go through some of the details that I have put into this little fun little build. So that's the end of this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on episode 5. Make sure you subscribe, click that little bell icon to be notified of upcoming videos. Support us on Patreon, like us on Facebook and Instagram at Model Railroad Techniques.